Hello and welcome back, audience. My name is MassiveBrad and welcome back to my FIFA 20 Liverpool career mode. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to say a huge big thank you for love and support on the channel. And as always, guys, at the start of today's episode, we are going to take a quick look at the games that lie ahead. Now, very similar to the previous episode, we're playing exactly the same two games for the first two games in today's episode. The only difference is they're the other way round. So in the previous episode, we played Brentford and then Wolverhampton Wanderers. This time round, we're playing Wolverhampton Wanderers and then Brentford. After we play those two games, we move into the month of January, which means, of course, the January window does open up, the transfer window's open, and we can look to sell and buy players if needs be. And for the final game in today's episode, as we move into January, we are taking on the Hammers West Ham in the round of 64 FA Cup. Now, we briefly touched up at the end of the last episode of which games we were going to play and which one we were going to simulate. I have now made the decision. It's a little bit of a risky decision because for me, I always say simulate your home games and play your away games because there is a slightly better percentage that you will win your home game. But in the situation we are right now, not losing a single game in the Premier League, we've only won and drawn. I feel like simulating a strong team like Wolverhampton Wanderers could be a risk. So we're going to play the game against Wolves at Anfield, which then means we will simulate the game against Brentford away from home. Massive risk there because in the previous episode, away from home, Manchester City, they drew to Brentford 1-1. So they put up a good game at home. Hopefully, that's not the case against us, which then means we move into January. And for the final game in today's episode, we take on the Hammers in the round of 64 FA Cup, which of course we will be playing. But before we dive into the action of today's episode, we're going to quickly jump over to the comment section on the previous video. This is my favourite part of the video because interacting with you guys is so important to me. So many of you leave amazing comments. The warm welcome back to YouTube has been absolutely incredible. The support, I think the last video is on 90-something views, nearly 100 views. So we're getting back to how the content used to be. I used to be getting over 100 views after 48 hours and be getting over 50 views within 24 hours. So guys, if you are enjoying the series, if you are glad that I'm back, make sure to click that thumbs up button. But for now, let's jump over to the comment section. So first comment coming in from Ethan LFC. Another banger of a video, Brad. I love it when we beat the Blues. Well, Ethan, I know you're a Liverpool fan. So am I. So when we beat the Blues, it is absolutely incredible. But I'm glad you enjoyed the episode and I'm glad you thought it was a banger. Next comment coming in from Will. Realistic signings. Owen Wijndal, I want to say, at left back, and Thomas Partey. Now, if I click into this, he did pronounce or spell out how I pronounce that left back, and it's Wijndal. Owen Wijndal at left back, and Thomas Partey at centre mid and CDM. Now, I like keeping the Liverpool career mode as realistic as possible. The problem I see there with Thomas Partey is he's currently linked with Inter Milan and Arsenal, not with Liverpool. So I think Thomas Partey may be departing Atletico Madrid and going to either Inter Milan or Arsenal more than Liverpool. What we will do after the comment section is I will go ahead and add Owen Wijndal to the transfer list and we can potentially look at him in January. Now, in today's episode, guys, we are going to be moving into the January transfer window. I have told you guys we may look for a new left back because we are going to look at moving on Philip Max. For now, we could stick with the options of Robertson at first player on the pitch in the starting 11 and back up Larouci. But I don't know if we need someone else like a Wijndal to sit in there behind Robertson more than Larouci because Larouci is a little bit behind Robertson. We may need just a little bit more superior of a player at that left back position. Brawl King saying, so glad these are back. Keep it up. This is great content. Thank you, Brawl King. I appreciate that comment and I'm glad that you do enjoy the content and you do feel it's great. I will be sure to keep it up. Royce DJ Gaming saying, top video, mate. Thank you, son. I appreciate that. Savage Child, hey, dude, good video. Is it okay for you to sign Timo Werner? Because it would be a realistic as Werner would like to join Liverpool in real life. Well, Savage Child, you're not wrong about this. He would like to join Liverpool in real life. The problem with that transfer right now is I believe until the likes of Mo Salah, Mane or Bobby Firmino depart the club, Timo Werner will not join the club because Timo Werner is not going to join Liverpool and be happy to be a bench warmer. He's going to want to play football. Currently at RB Leipzig right now, he's playing week in and week out. If he comes to Liverpool, that's not going to be the case. So, although it is a realistic signing, and we have signed him in the past, I do believe it was on FIFA 19 in the Liverpool career mode. For me, I want to stick with Bobby Firmino. I want the backup to be Divock Origi and Minamino, and that's how I want to keep it. So as for a striker, we won't be signing a striker, unfortunately, in January. But that doesn't mean in other career modes and future career modes, we may not sign Timo Werner or someone you would like me to sign. A sweeper keeper. This is a great comment, guys, because I can discuss it with you now. At 14 minutes 10, there are black things to the left of you. I assume that is caused by the green screen, and I also often see the corner of the green screen occasionally. You don't need to fix this if you don't want to. Let's get one thing straight. I mean, you can probably see a little bit just behind where my hand is here now. If I move the hand, you can probably see a little bit of green. And I'll explain exactly what that is. The corner, I unfortunately can't help. Now, in this top right corner here, right, you can probably see white right now. If I move it that way, it disappears. If it comes back, there's the white. To explain that, when you see white like static behind me, that means there is more light behind the green screen than in front. So there is light coming through. And because I have a window just here, if I move it across, that is the light coming in from behind the green screen, meaning the light behind the green screen is brighter than the light in front, which with a green screen doesn't work because it means the light from behind shines through and deflects what I'm already shining at it. Unfortunately, until I get blinds for the window, there's nothing I can do about the white. Going back to the green, which you can see probably just here underneath my headset now, that is when there's a different shadow. Now, I'm going to briefly explain to you guys how a green screen works. Imagine you have a bright green t-shirt and it's all one colour. You lay it on the floor, and what you can do in an editing software is select that green t-shirt, that exact colour, and it will get rid of that shade of green. The problem is when you put that t-shirt on the floor, if you use natural light, it'll be about 90% spot on, which is what I tend to do now with natural light. Apart from just here, there's not much green static or the green screen you can actually see. If you want to make it even better, you would do this. So if I just turn this on, there you go, it's on. Now the green here has probably disappeared now. That is because that light that is behind my screen, behind you guys, is now making this whole green screen one colour. So if you see now, you can see the corner, but there's no white. Even on the edge, there's no white. That there is behind the green screen. That is the green screen. There's no white up here. There's no green over here. And that is because now I have lit the whole green screen with a light, meaning when I am using the software and I've selected that shade of green, the whole green screen is that shade. The minute I turn that off, if you imagine the t-shirt was on the floor and you threw water on it, there's now going to be darker spots of the green. It's still going to get rid of the one shade of green that you've selected, but the darker parts are now not going to disappear, which is here, meaning just behind my headset, just here, it means it is darker than the actual shade of green I've picked. The minute I turn this on, it should get rid of it because the green on this side is matching the green on that side. I'm trying to explain this as much to you guys as I possibly can. It's a little bit more difficult and complex than that, but basically the better the lighting, the better the green screen. If you've got a lot of light coming in from behind the green screen, it's a problem. I do want to fix these things, but unfortunately right now, I can't. But for you guys, I asked in the last episode, do you want me to use the light? I turn the light on and I turn the light off. And we'll get to that comment in just a moment. So let me just finish up this comment, these last two comments, sorry, and then I'll discuss the light. Bandit saying, hey Brad, hey Bandit, thanks for coming back to the channel. And the last one is Will going, mate, it's the Merseyside derby. I agree with you, Will. People do call it the Merseyside derby, but that's if they're not a Liverpool fan. As a Liverpool fan, you tend to call it the Liverpool derby. Now, if I scroll up to my top comment, which I left, and it was, let me know if you prefer light on or light off. Sweeper Keeper said off. Will said off. Sweeper Keeper said it looks better. And Will said because you don't have to sacrifice your eyesight just for the video. I made a point that with it being an LED light, it is very, very bright. But forget about my eyesight because my eyes will go from up here talking to you guys to down here. I won't be focusing on the light that's in that top left corner. Now, this is the situation. If I have it off, you guys can see green spots and the white up here. If I have it on, that disappears and brightens my face up. So if I just look at you guys nice and straight now and have the light on, off, on, off, on, off. Now, in the last episode, I left the light off to record for you guys. In today's episode, because it's still light outside, because there's a lot of light in this room, because all the walls are white right now, I'm going to leave the light on so it picks up the green screen and makes it nice and bright and clear for you guys. Now, that is the comment section done. Let me just check. I've answered everyone's comment. We've talked about the light. Simple as. Moving forwards, guys, the left back and centre mid position. If you guys want to leave some comments down below with maybe transfers you'd like me to look to bring in. I'm not necessarily bringing in a central midfielder or a left back. I may change my mind and stick with what we've got. But for now, I'm thinking you guys can leave some recommendations and we can certainly add them to the list. So to start off, thanks to Will, we are going to go ahead and add Windal to the list. So I think it was WJ. It's definitely not WIJ. Owen Windal. There he is. 21 years old. He's from AZ or AZ in the Eredivisie, I do believe. And he's also from the Netherlands. So he's partner nice with Van Dijk and also Genie Wijnaldum. We will go ahead and ask C. McNeil to scout him and also add him to the shortlist. If you guys have any more recommendations for left back and centre mid positions, please do let me know. I just want to check as well, do we have any players currently? No. Owen Windal is the first player on our transfer hub. So make sure if you want to drop some comments down below that you do that ASAP, because before you know it, we will be out of the January transfer window. But let's go ahead and get into this first game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. I'm excited for it. Last time we did go to the Molineux Stadium and we tore them apart. Although we didn't score a lot because their keeper was on absolute fire. Rui Patricio was pulling off some incredible saves. This time around as they come to Anfield, I'm hoping we can absolutely dominate them. We have had to change up the team quite a lot simply because well, the last episode we had a lot of games and the players aren't back fully fit, and you can see that Van Dijk, Alisson and Robertson are not back 100% fit just yet, but hopefully they can get back for the next game against... Who are we playing in the next one? Is it Brentford? I can't remember who we're playing in the next game. But we have gone with Ryan Kent out on the left wing, Divock Origi at striker, Wilson out on the right wing, Bruno Fernandes linking up with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in the central midfield. A little deeper, we've got Marko Grujic in the central defensive midfield, and then Robertson, Van Dijk, Matip and Hoover at the back, with Alisson between the sticks. We've been rotating Hoover and Nathaniel Klein at right back. I'll be excited to see now he's gone to a 70 overall from a 69, if he has improved, and how he gets on against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Come on, Redmen, we've got this one. First game of today's episode. Come on. I'm excited for this one. Wolves were a tricky team last time around. Rui Patricio really caused us some issues. Just checking on the green screen, making sure it still looks nice and clear. Hopefully, with the light being on behind you guys, we shouldn't really see any of the green static, any of the white static. I call it static because it looks like static you used to get on a TV, but in fact it's just specks of where it's obviously darker on the green screen than light. But we are going to get this first half kicked off with Divock Origi. Come on, Redmen, let's get it underway. And I'm expecting a lot of goals in today's episode. Ox on the inside to Divock. Back through there now to the Ox, who's trying to get the better of Nathan Ake. Unfortunately, it's cleared away. It's now going to fall to the Ox again. It's going to take it around this man and hit it on his right foot. The Ox can hit them, but it's a comfortable save for Rui Patricio. Back to Gregoritsch. Through now to Jamie Vardy. I've got to be cautious here now, as Gregoritsch is now coming forward. It's a great ball through to Gregoritsch. It's in the back of the net. It's 1-0 Wolves. That was a well-worked goal from Wolves. Very good goal there from Gregoritsch. Great team effort. A good 4 or 5 strung passes together before it ended up in the back of the net. It's a stunning goal there from Wolves and a great bit of teamwork. Jamie Vardy into Gregoritsch, back to Vardy, lays it across, comes back to Gregoritsch from Dendoncker, and it does end up in the back of the net. It is now 1-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers in the 33rd minute. We have got to pull ourselves together here. Definitely all over Harry Wilson there. Come on, we need to get something from this throw-in. Here's the Ox. Bruno Fernandes on his right foot, looks to Ben Woodard, just by the goal from Bruno Fernandes right on half-time as well. I don't think we're going to find that goal to bring it back to level terms before the half-time whistle's blown. Come on, Wilson, you need to go with your son. Go on, Wilson, let's play it now. Try and get Wilson in behind. Nathan Ake's read that one so well. Ball intercepted there from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, but the referee is going to blow for half-time at Anfield. This is a tough game. I feel like we have been the better side over Wolverhampton Wanderers. Unfortunately, that one chance that they did have, they managed to put it in the back of the net. The team is not looking great for fitness. We are now going to take Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain on and bring on Naby Keita. I think we'll leave Wilson, Origi and Kent as the front three. I'm sure one of them has got a goal in them before we do look to substitute one of them off and bring on some of the big guns to hopefully get that leveling goal. But Jamie Vardy is going to be the man to kick Wolves off in the second half period. Lads, we need to find this equalising goal. Edge of the box to Dendoncker. Matip's going to come through there now, and it's unfortunately going to fall to Gregoritsch again, who's going to force a save from Alisson. Don't let him have options. Nicely done. Ryan Kent is now going to win that one. We're going to go through now to Bruno Fernandes. Oh, I should have just went straight through. Here's Naby Keita. Looks to Ben one. Naby Keita's going to have his shot blocked. We are struggling to break down Wolves. Minamino, I need you to go, son. I need you to go. Play it through there now to Minamino. We're going to lose the ball. Minamino going to put one over the top now. Looking for Naby Keita through a goal. He's gone with his head instead of his foot. And we could have pulled that back there. That is poor from Naby Keita. To Naby Keita, we're going to look at pushing on now. Come on, lads, I need some help here. Naby Keita through now to Marco Krujic. You've got Shaqiri out wide. Ball out to Shaqiri, who's now coming forward. Here comes Shaqiri. Little pass in. Looking for someone. We've screwed her up again. I've hit it. We've still got the ball. Let's not panic. Here's Bruno Fernandes. We've lost it to Neves, and it's going to be game over. We have lost for the first time in the Premier League. That was poor. Let me fix the green screen. It's our first loss in the Premier League after, I think, 18 or 19 games. That sucks, and I know when we look at the stats, we should have done a lot better. Let's take a little look. 7 shots, 5 on target compared to Wolves. 6 shots, 3 on target. Very, very disappointing game. Not only do we absolutely annihilate them on stats and should be beating them there, we do lose for the first time to Wolves, and we also lose for the first time in the Premier League. Virgil van Dijk pretty much sums up getting our man of the match with a 7.7 rating. It just goes to show how truly and poorly we played in that game against Wolves. We weren't clinical enough with those 5 shots. If Wolves are going to convert from 3 shots on target to 1 in the back of the net, we should be scoring at least 2 there with 5 on target. Very, very disappointed, and it now potentially drops the morale of our team going into this next simulated game. It's took me a couple of minutes to let that sink in. We've just lost to Wolves 1-0, and for our 20th Premier League game, it's our first loss. It sucks, it hurts, but we have to move on and we have to focus on the rest of the season. We managed to get 20 games or 19 games without losing a single game. We lose our 20th game, we have to regroup, we have to rethink, and we have to go again. The gap has now smallened with Manchester City breathing right down our necks, only 4 points behind. So we cannot afford now to slip up against Brentford. We have to get the win. It is so important we get this win, because if we do slip up and lose to Brentford and City win, it puts them within 1 point of us after 21 games. And that for me is too close for calling. Now, unfortunately, we've had to rotate the team a lot, and you'll see that the back 4 have been rotated massively. But I'm hoping my plan works of going with a full strength team up top, a full strength team in the midfield, and then putting some of the young players and the older players and the less rated players at the back. Hopefully we'll score enough goals as well as not concede too many so we can get the win over Brentford. But I've gone with Sadio Mane out on the left wing, Bobby Firmino at striker, Salah out on the right wing, Gini Wijnaldum linking up with the skipper Jordan Henderson in the central midfield. A little deeper, we got Fabinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Max van den Berg, Lovren and Klein at the back with Alisson between the sticks. I could do with resting Alisson, but I think he is the man that we need between the sticks to hopefully just give a little bit of a boost to that defence, especially if they are breaking us down, Brentford, and getting through our defence. At least we've got a solid shot stopper between the sticks that can hopefully keep us in the game. But I'm hoping with the 6 outfield players, the midfield and the strikers, I'm hoping we can do a job over Brentford. Now, looking at their last couple of games, they managed to keep Man City to a draw when they were at home 1-1. They then played Manchester United and lost 3-1. And then when they've travelled to Manchester City, they've been dominated 4-0. So I'm hoping, apart from that game we just played there, we were in great form, scoring plenty of goals. I'm hoping as we get these players warmed up, we can do a job like Manchester City and batter Brentford. And that is the case. We do beat them 4-1. I did expect that they may potentially score. I didn't expect, to be honest, their right back Clark to be scoring, but they did score. We did have a weakened defence, we have to admit that. But thankfully, with the strength up top, with Mo Salah, Mane and Gini getting 2, we did manage to score 4 goals. Clark did give them the lead in just the 13th minute, but it didn't last too long. 5 minutes later, Gini Wijnaldum does level in the 18th minute. Lovren then picks up a yellow card in the 30th. 3 minutes later, Gini manages to get the double. He scores a brace by the 33rd minute. Gomez then coming on for Vandenberg in the 54th. Then the other substitutes were made by Brentford, nothing from us. And then in the 61st minute, Sadio Mane scores, taking it to 3-1. And then Mo Salah puts the final nail in the coffin in the 69th minute, taking it to 4-1. And pretty much putting that game to bed. Very happy with the result. It's a great bounce back after that horrible, hateful loss to Wolverhampton Wanderers 1-0 in the Premier League. Hopefully now as we play this game in the round of 64 against West Ham, we can bounce back with me controlling the players and we can score plenty of goals and most importantly, go through to the next round of the FA Cup. Well, it's been a hell of an episode so far. A loss to Wolves putting us on a downward spiral, but bouncing back and climbing back up that rollercoaster steep by beating Brentford 4-1 in the simulated game. I'm hoping we can continue to climb that steep by beating West Ham up next. We are at Anfield, we're in front of the home fans. We need to show them that we mean business. They've just watched at Anfield us lose 1-0 to Wolves. We have to now show them that we are here. We are ready to turn this round. It was one little mistake that cost us the game. They scored, we let them get through. We're now going to bounce back and we're going to give the fans one hell of a game at Anfield to watch when we do knock West Ham out of the FA Cup. We've gone with Sadio Mane out on the left wing, Bobby Firmino at striker, Salah out on the right wing, Gini Wijnaldum linking up with the skipper Jordan Henderson in the central midfield. A little deeper with the Brazilian man Fabinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez and Hoover at the back with Alisson between the sticks. We may need to look in the next episode at giving Alisson a break and putting Adrian in. I was thinking of doing it for this game against West Ham, but I think we need the big man Alisson in there. And I'm hoping Bobby Firmino can get on the score sheet. He's been struggling in the games that he's playing. He's having plenty of shots, getting into plenty of opportunities, just not putting them in the back of the net. I'm really gutted about that loss to Wolves. Really disappointed in myself that I couldn't pull that back. Maybe I should have played a much stronger team. Maybe I should have put the likes of Bobby and Salah and Mane up there against Wolves. We knew that beating Roy Patricio in the last episode was a struggle. Maybe playing the likes of Harry Wilson, Ryan Kent and Divock Origi just wasn't good enough, but hopefully we can bounce back as Bobby Firmino gets us kicked off against West Ham in this game in the FA Cup. Let's get it underway, and please lads, let's get this win. Ball going to come in, we're going to win this one with Henderson. It's come to Robertson, play the ball out. Robertson, you've got to get rid of that ball. Ball now going to come in towards the back post. Declan Rice hits the post, and Declan Rice finishes it. Mo Salah watching Declan Rice. He doesn't jump first time. Declan Rice wins the header, plays it against the post. And again, Mo Salah, why didn't you get this ball, son? You're marking him. You've got to jump and win that ball, and you've got to put your body on the line there for that. Declan Rice climbs above him. And unfortunately, just like against Wolves, West Ham have taken the 1-0 lead. Put the pressure on a Jetty, good lad. Here's Mo Salah. Oh, Mo, you can't lose the ball there. Gotta watch that running behind. And that run has happened in behind. Silva now going to make his way into the box. Van Dijk going to hold him off. Ball now going to come. It's a great strike and a great save from Alisson. We've turned off here now, lads, and we are seriously being punished. Declan Rice plays it to Cullen. And it is 1-0 at Anfield. We are 1-0 down. Struggling to score today, ladies and gentlemen. Really struggling to score. Mo Salah had that shot in like the 3rd minute. He's done nothing since. We are struggling. Really, really struggling. And at this rate, we are going to be knocked out by West Ham of the Emirates FA Cup. We need to start fighting. We need to show passion. We need to show energy. We need to show love to these players. We need to get through on goal. And the next shot we have has to end up in the back of the net. Come on, lads. Fabinho through now to Bobby. Bobby going to ping one over the top now, looking for Mo Salah to run onto. Mo Salah's still going to fight for this ball. Mo Salah's running. He's going to put it away. It's Mo Salah. We've got a lot of luck on our side there to finally get back to level terms. A real screw up at the back there for West Ham, allowing Mo Salah to come through one-on-one with the keeper. Pinged it over the top. It's a terrible pass. It's a terrible chest. Mo Salah takes the ball off him, and we do manage to punish West Ham as we slide one into that bottom left corner, beating the keeper and putting us back to level terms. Now we need to push on. We need to score plenty of goals, and we need to knock West Ham out of the FA Cup. Now we'll go to Bobby. Beautiful. Bobby going to get through. It's going to come from a mistake potentially again. Bobby Firmino onto his right foot, looks to bend one. Bobby Firmino makes it 2-1. It only took 3 or 4 minutes for us to go from being knocked out of the FA Cup to now back in pole position of knocking West Ham out of the FA Cup. Bobby Firmino finally gets his goal. It had to come eventually. It's a great cutback, great bit of skill here. Cuts it back onto his right foot and buries it in that far right corner. From 1-0 down to 2-1 up. Go into Bobby Firmino. Bobby Firmino going to run at these defenders. Play it out wide. Good lad. And again. Beautiful. Here comes Robertson now. I've got Mane on the inside. Mane's there. Bobby Firmino to finish up. Yes! Bobby gets 2. It's 3-1. Finally. Now we're playing some good football. Now we're playing good football, Redmen. Great ball in there from Robertson. Mane opens up his body to try and slide it in. The keeper gets a hand to it. Unfortunately, it's only a hand to palm it into the path of Bobby Firmino, who does find a second within 10 minutes. We've got to be careful here now as Cullen now comes forward. We missed that slide tackle. Van Dijk's going to win that one. Here's Hoover. Harry Wilson. Straight in now to Roberto Firmino. Going to slide that in now for Harry Wilson. That is beautiful. Harry Wilson's only going to get past one. Harry Wilson! Yes! It's 4-1! Stunning. Harry Wilson on that left foot is better for me than Xherdan Shaqiri. If you remember in Season 1 and on FIFA 19, Xherdan Shaqiri cutting in on that left foot was deadly. Better than Mo Salah. But Wilson on that left foot is deadly. Literally, if we have 5 shots, 4 are going in the back of the net on that left foot finesse shot from Harry Wilson. We've got 3 minutes to go. Man of the match is going to number 9, Roberto Firmino. I'm so glad he managed to get his goal. Here we go. Now we're pushing forward. Here comes Naby Keita now darting forward. Playing in there. We're trying to find Bobby Firmino's hat-trick. He's not going to find it. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is going to spoof it over the bar. And I don't think we're going to find that 5th goal, unfortunately. It's Naby Keita. Henderson. And as we play it into the middle of the park for Henderson, the referee is going to blow his full-time whistle at Anfield. We are going to beat and knock West Ham out of the FA Cup after declaring a 4-1 victory over them. My heart was pouncing from the minute they went 1-0 up, if I'm completely honest. Absolutely pounded, because we went 1-0 down to Wolves and we couldn't find our way back. Very poor when it comes to shots on target. We had 13 total shots, only 5 on target. West Ham having 4 shots, 2 of them on target, 1 in the back of the net. From our 5 shots, we put 4 in the back of the net. But realistically, I'd like to be seeing 7 or 8 shots on target if we're having 13 shots. But regardless, we get the 4-1 victory over West Ham. Bobby Firmino does, after me starting at the start of this game, I said Bobby Firmino needs to get back to his scoring ways. He does score a brace. He does get man of the match with a 9.3 rating. And we do march on to the next round of the FA Cup. Right, guys, and that brings us back to the central for the final time in today's episode. The last couple of episodes, including this one and the one before this one, they've been very mirrored. You know, we've ended today's episode playing West Ham in the FA Cup, and at the start of the next episode, we're playing West Ham, and it was very similar in the last episode. We played Brentford, then Wolves, and then at the start of today's episode, we played Wolves, then Brentford. Very, very similar games over and over again, but realistically, if we just beat West Ham 4-1, I'm hoping a comfortable win over West Ham at Anfield again shouldn't be an issue. But let's take a quick look at the games that do lie ahead in the next episode. We take on West Ham at Anfield for the first game. We then have Manchester United at Old Trafford away from home. And then to finish off the next episode, we also play Brighton away from home. So I think, having said that, because I made the mistake today of potentially playing the home game against Wolves, which we lost, I could have simulated it and there would have been a chance that we would have won it. Unfortunately, that's not always the way the coin flips. But I think we're going to simulate the game against West Ham, the home game, because we do have a better percentage chance of winning that game. Then we'll play the Manchester United game and play the Brighton game. But a few things that need to be said before the end of today's episode, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, we are now in to the January transfer window. The transfer window is opened. I have listed Philip Max and I have listed Bruno Fernandes on the transfer list. I'm hoping a team will come in to buy those 2 players. We also did add wind out to the list. We have now had his full scout report back from the left back. He's only going to cost us probably 5 or 6 million overall, 71 rated. I did forget last season we also looked at Junior Firpo from Barcelona, who could also come in at left back. But I'm thinking if we were to sign anyone, Windout could be perfect, 71 overall rated, plenty of potential to grow, and also a great backup to Robertson. I don't want someone to come in that's an 82 or an 83 rated because they're going to want to play more games than Robertson. Bringing in a 71 overall rated wouldn't be too bad. But on the flip side of that, we also have Larouci. And if we take a little look, what rating is Larouci now? Where is my man Larouci? So Larouci's 76, so he's already 5 ratings higher than potentially if we bring in a Windout. So I'm not 100% sure what we do there, but if you guys do want to recommend some realistic central midfielders and also some left backs, we can certainly add them to the list and see what's going to happen in the future. For me, the central midfield roles, I think we've just got far too many midfielders to actually buy another central midfielder. I think we go with the lineup of Gini and Henderson as the main two. We've then got coming off the bench, we've got the likes of Naby Keita, Lallana, Milner, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. We've got plenty of central midfielders, so I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section. Do you think we need to go and sign another midfielder? Do you think we need it? I think for the central defensive midfield, having Fabinho and Marko Grujic is perfect. I tend to say, as long as we've got 2 players and then maybe an extra backup to help out. So you could say Gini plays left centre mid. His backup could be Naby Keita. Henderson plays right centre mid. His backup could be Ox. Then we've still got the likes of Milner and Lallana if one of those weren't fit to still come on. So we've got plenty of options in the midfield. For Robertson, we have got Larouci. We're looking at moving Philip Max on. Maybe we do bring in another left back to play under Larouci and we can rotate them, and I can play Larouci in the cup games, and then I could rotate a new left back with Robertson. Of course, Trent should be back. I shouldn't think in too much time now. It should be the end of January, I would have thought. I think it's probably got another 3 weeks or something. Trent has got another 3 weeks. He's fit in 3 weeks. So by the end of the next episode, we shouldn't be far off of bringing Trent back to right back. But I have to say, Kiana Hoover and Nathaniel Klein have put in fantastic efforts at right back. Both played absolutely incredible football. Very impressed with the both of them. But I am a little bit disappointed with today's episode. That loss to Wolves has really, really dug in my side. Give me a little bit of heartache because we do now have Manchester City breathing right down our necks, only 4 points behind, and they don't seem to be letting off the gas. And to be honest, in the game against Wolves, we shouldn't have either. Unfortunately, we did. It's cost us. We have looked like we've bounced back, and we're just going to hope going forwards we can go on to beat West Ham, Manchester United, Brighton. We've just got to go on and continue our winning ways and hope that we can get back on track. That is good for today's episode, guys. If you have enjoyed it, please do give it a big thumbs up for me. Don't forget to drop your comments down below. If you're new around here, click that subscribe button. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. And I've been MassiveBrad. Peace out.